Hey guys, it's Shegail and welcome to a new video. Today's tutorial is a simple beginner-friendly look that will have you looking amazing in no time. I hope you enjoy this tutorial and be sure to subscribe for more future videos. Thank you. Okay, so these are just my steps. I'm going to show you how I do a simple everyday makeup. Everyone has their own steps. Everyone does their makeup differently. There is no right or wrong, okay? Just play with it and have fun. So I'm gonna go in with my brow gel. This is a clear brow gel, and I'm just gonna rub it into my lashes. Rubbing in. You wanna get every crevices of the eyebrows. You wanna make sure every piece of hair is coated. So you apply your brow gel. After you apply it, you're going to just try to shape it and put it in place the way you would like them to look. So in this case, I'm just brushing them up. Now we're gonna go in with our concealer. So we're gonna go in with a concealer brush, small concealer brush. You just wanna carve out the bottom, make sure it's a nice straight line, it's nice and clean and cut. I'm just gonna bring that down onto my lid. Right, we're gonna bring that concealer all over the lid. And don't worry that it's not perfect, that it's streaky. That is why we have sponge. And we're just gonna blend it out. Now I'm gonna set my lids with some translucent powder. This is Dermablend in the shade Cool Beige. So what I do is I just put a little bit on the top because we really don't need that much, and that's what I'm gonna be using for the entire makeup look. It's very little. I mean, I kind of put a little bit too much on here, but I'm gonna use way less than that. So I'm just gonna grab another brush, a nice fluffy brush, and I dap it in there, and then you wanna tap the excess off the ladder powder. And then I'm just gonna press in there and set that concealer. A lot of people would say, oh, don't use concealer, use a primer. Use what you have. I do have primer. I like using concealer. I don't know why. Honestly, I use primer when I have events, when I have, like, you know, big events, parties, things like that. I'll use it. If it's for every day, I'm gonna use concealer. Again, this is an everyday look, concealer. And, you know, it does stay on all day. So for people that say, oh no, it creates oil using concealer in your eye, my makeup stays on all day, literally, no moving. So it is what it is. To start, let's just use one palette, right? And it doesn't matter what palette, just go for your favorite palette, the palette you like, and let's go for earth tone colors. This is, as you can see, my favorite palette. It's very worn out, but I love these colors and they blend so nice. So okay, and don't ask me the name of the palette, the name of the shadows, because I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Use what you have, okay? Use similar colors. You just want to work with light colors, transitional colors, earth tone colors. That's what we're looking for. So look for your palette that has brown, that has earth tone colors. And let's get started. Can you tell, can you tell which one is the transitional color? All right. I love it. I love it. Like, when I tell you, it just, oh. So you're going to put that on your crease. You already know, right? You got a blending brush. You're gonna do circular motion, guys, circular motion. So it's circle, then go back. Circle, circle, and go back. I'm gonna change the brush. I'm not loving that brush. Okay, let's try this one. Try a different blending brush. Because my favorite ones are actually dirty. I have to clean my brushes. These are my clean ones. And they're obviously my last resort, the ones that I really don't use. Alright. You can't even tell. Like, it's there. Here we go with this light. Can you tell? Like, there's just a subtleness right there, just creating that shade. Nothing there, nothing there, subtle shade. That's what we're going for. We're going for a natural, everyday, subtle look. And another thing, just because it might not look like much here, remember, your bare face, once you put that foundation on and the bronzer and everything, and this, like, it highlights the eyes, it's gonna look like $1,000,000. See? Very subtle, but it's giving that illusion. That's what we want. And I personally, like, I love to deepen that crease and just give that open eye look. I mean, especially for hooded eyes. And by hooded eyes, I mean that. Because, I don't know, there's people whose eyes are naturally like this, where the hood comes up here and you have a full eye. I love those. Like, I love working with faces like that. I love painting faces like that. But here we gotta create that illusion. When you have these hoods like this, we gotta create the illusion and open your eye, okay? So again, we're just going in with the same color. We're just making sure we have that base, that illusion down. So next, I'm gonna go in with this color. And it's like a brown, kind of a sandy color. We're gonna go in with that one, just inside the crease. This one, we blended it outward. We got it in the crease and blended outward. This color, we're going to stay in the crease and leave it there. We're not gonna track up, okay? We're just leaving it in the crease. So leaving it in the crease, we're not doing anything else. Just rub it back and forth. Circular motion, okay? This is how you build up your colors. Because if you get one, even your smoky eyes, you know, if you just put that black or that dark brown, boom, you know, unless you're good, you know, you can obviously diffuse the top, but this is how you work your way. You transition, you use light colors and work your way in. Remember, we're staying inside the crease. We're not working up, we're not working down, in the crease. I'm debating on whether I should do a gold lid, a very soft gold lid, or just a matte color and give it you know, a very subtle everyday look that doesn't look like you're really wearing makeup. So I'm gonna just do this one. It looks really yellow, but I'm gonna just put a very light coat, so hopefully it's not too pigmented. Tap the excess, and you can 100% clean the lid, you know, up to your crease. You can grab a Q-tip, some micellar water, some makeup remover, and just remove it if you want a clean cut crease. I don't want a cut crease. I want it to look natural, so I'm not doing anything. I'm not cutting the crease. I'm just packing the eyeshadow where this part is. You see, on my lid, just below the crease. Now again, I'm going for a very subtle look, so I don't want to put too much, because here's another trick. If you spray setting spray on your brush and you dab it into your eyeshadow, it would enhance it and make that color pop and make it look brighter. The color payoff would be much greater as opposed to just using a dry brush. So we're just gonna fake create an illusion of a lid. So what you're gonna do is just follow the curve, okay? Just follow a curve. You wanna follow the curve of your eye. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my blending brush again and just kind of deepen the corners right here. I kind of want to create a V shape right here, V, to give it that like cat eye look. That's what I want. So that's what we're doing. You see that V? That's what you want right there. That V. And then with the same blending brush that you use, if I can find it, and you use the first color, this one. We're just gonna kind of like bring it out a little, just to give it that illusion, that cat eye, elongated eye. So I'm just gonna go, you can see the placement, just a little bit outside of that V. And it's literally that simple. We're doing something simple. We don't want to do too much. We don't want to overpack the eye. We don't want to do anything. So the first step is primer, foundation, concealer, setting powder. I use setting powder before contour because I don't contour. I use bronzer. So I want to set my foundation in place, my concealer in place before I put any powder. That includes the bronzer, the blush, and everything else. So I set my face with powder. Then I apply my bronzer, my blush, then I set my face with setting spray. After I set my face with setting spray, then I applied my highlighter. In my last video, I didn't do that because it was my first video and it was an impromptu and I was just like kind of squirming around. And even in the video, you see, oh my God, I almost forgot this step. I almost forgot this. So that's my steps. So getting back to it, I'm gonna use primer. Before you start your makeup, before you do your makeup, you want to make sure your skin is prepped. And by prepped, I mean you want to make sure your skin is cleansed, you wash your face, and you moisturize. Above all, you want a nice clean face. You want to make sure you are following with your skincare routine, because a face that is not well taken care of, no matter how much makeup you put on, it's not going to look flawless because your skin is not, it's not flawless. I don't want to say flawless because whose skin is flawless? We all have flaws. That's what make us us. But what I mean is the blemishes and just smooth skin. When you want smooth skin, just make sure you follow your nighttime routine. That way your makeup is gonna look good. Your makeup only looks as good as your skin does, and that's the honest truth. All right, so back to the primer. Just put it on everywhere. Right? My face is set. Like I washed my face. I put my moisturizer. I'm very big on my moisturizer. Wrapped. I let it dry a little. We can go ahead and do the eyes. Sorry, not the eyes. We could go ahead and do the brows. So being the fact that we kind of carved that part out in the very beginning, it kind of gives us a nice clear path and a clean brow to work with, a clean canvas. So it's actually much easier to fill in the brows and just fill in the gaps where they need to be. Well, just fill in the gaps that need to be filled in. We're done with that, so let's continue on with our foundation. Using Fenty foundation, you can use whatever foundation you have. It's perfectly fine. So I just used my brush, but there is a little streaking. You can't really see it in the video, so I'm gonna go ahead and use my sponge. So in this case, for people who don't have this, who don't use brushes, we use sponges over here. We do. So use your sponge. You already know. All over. Beat that face in. We're just pressing it in. We're not moving it. We're pressing it in. Right? Foundation down. Next, concealer. And I'm just gonna use a concealer that is lighter. I'm gonna use two and just to kind of brighten it up. Use your sponge and just have at it. Just diffuse that. Make sure it's nice and smooth. Don't mind they're my rings. How cute are they? They're little lips. So now we concealed. So next, you guessed it, setting powder. I'm gonna use the same sponge. Remember the bit we tapped onto the top? To the top is what we're gonna use, and we're using a damped sponge. Okay, I make sure to run it under some water and squeeze all that water out. I don't bake. I'm just gonna set my face. I'm just pressing that powder into my face. You can use a brush, but I just like to use to set the face. It's best to use the sponge to set the under eye, but like as far as the face, you can definitely use a brush, but I already have this. Why dirty a brush for no reason? And nose and the forehead. Next, we are going to use bronzer. Someone gave me this. It's a loose powder by Maybelline. Not my shade, but I love it for like contour, bronzer. I love how it looks. So you'll see, like, see how dark it is? Not my shade. But it's a beautiful color. So remember what I said, guys? We're going to apply the bronzer on your cheekbone. On. I'm just making sure I get the product in there. And then I'll diffuse it. Don't forget the jawline, ladies. I love this brush because it's literally nice and chiseled. It's a chisel brush, so it just fits perfectly right here. I personally like to build up my bronzer, so I use different ones on top of each other. So with the same Maybelline Fix Me powder I use to contour my nose. And when you contour, you want to bring it all the way up to your, Jesus, I'm trying to your eyebrows. You want to bring it up all the way to your eyebrows. Right? Let me just get a different brush here. After bronzer, next step, blush. I like to also layer on my blushes. I like to use a peachy color first and then a pink color, a very pinky color, just to kind of give you a tanned look. So just a little bit, man, just a little bit. This goes a long way. If you only knew how light, like the very light pressure I'm applying. Barely any pressure. This was the first. See, it kind of looks orangey, but it's such a pretty color. There, looks better. There it shows. That's the color. And then you go in with a much, see the difference? Peach, pink. Peach, pink. Oh, looks like my shirt. And then this one has shimmer. This one's really nice. I love this one. I apply it all over I'll show you what I mean by all over. So we're just gonna go on top of that peachy one, right? Just very lightly, and then I'll put it here, my chin, a little on my nose, and a little here on my forehead. And that's it. Let me just go in with the contour, a little bit on the nose. So now we're going to, I personally like to do the under eye after the foundation, because when let's say if I were to do this all together, when I'm blending out my concealer, it gets lost in it and it doesn't look as pretty as it does when you put it on fresh. So that's why I like to always leave that for the last part, like after I set my face, after I put my concealer. So we're gonna go in with what we do in the top is the same thing we're gonna do in the bottom, okay? So we're gonna go in with that first transitional shade, and we're gonna bring that one a little more farther outward, right? So the color that we use more towards the crease is gonna be more towards your eye. We're working in reverse. Okay, I'm gonna go under here. And don't be afraid to kind of pack this one on there, because it is that transitional color and you're gonna build. You're gonna put more colors on it, so it's gonna look flawless and it's gonna look just, you know, like it flows when you do put the other colors on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect this. Remember we did the V earlier? With this one, we're gonna connect it. Just connect that bottom with the upper. Connect that bottom with the upper. Now we're gonna use, I'm using the same brush. I know I'm using the same brush. Forget that. Not a lot of people have different brushes. All these, I have a lot, but we don't have to do it. You may not have it, or we're gonna work with what you got, girl. So boy, girl, boy, people, we gonna work with what y'all got. So this is it. So we're gonna go with the next color in, right? Bring it in much closer to your eyelashes. I'm not going to put the gold, because since it is a yellow gold, it's gonna get lost. If I put it in the bottom, it's not gonna show, because it's not, there's no room, you know what I mean? So we're just gonna do what we did up here, where we're not putting gold. I mean, what you can do is you can get some of this, you can just put it right here in that inner corner, just a little bit, but it's not gonna do much. And again, it depends on the look you're going for. If the look calls for it, you could definitely put it on the bottom where it shows. And again, it depends on the look. Like if you're going to a wedding or something and you're taking a lot of photographs, you want the makeup to look big and bulky and extra, because when you take those pictures, that's what shows. When you have like makeup, you know, subtle makeup, it doesn't really show on the pictures. So this is a soft glam, soft, everyday, simple look. So we're just gonna put that sand color there, and that's it. We're not doing anything else. It was those two colors down there. That's it. Now what we do, we're gonna go in with the setting spray. I be going way too hard with the spray. I be wetting my face. Like, girl, you need to stop. It's not cute. I need to stop. But I really love it. Notice I didn't put my mascara or anything like that, because putting water on your face you don't want. You're putting liquid on your face. You don't want it to transfer onto your foundation. And I forgot the reason why I like to put my highlighter on after I put my setting spray. That's just how I like to do it. That's just my process. Just apply some chapstick, some lipsticks, whatever you got. Vaseline. Just moisturize those lips. Get them ready for the lipstick. You want to make sure everything is nice and moisturized. You don't want dry lips. You don't want dry skin when you put on makeup. Make sure everything is good. Drink a lot of water too. So I'm gonna curl my lashes, because this look doesn't require lashes. As you notice, I didn't do any eyeliner. I didn't do anything, because sometimes when you do eyeliner, you feel pressure to like have lashes, you know, to make it pop. So this is subtle. Once you you curl your lashes and you put on the mascara, it's gonna look beautiful. It's an everyday simple makeup. And I do like to use an eyelash curler just to kind of open up your eyes. If anything, if not for anything else, to really open up your eyes when you do. I would do, I would apply mascara with one without and one with, but I'm trying to look cute, so we're just gonna take my word for it, okay? Just invest, right? You want to apply it as close as you can to your eyelid and squeeze. And remember the trick I told you guys, all right? Start with the bottom and then the top. My trick for putting on mascara, especially in the bottom if you don't have, because a lot of people don't have a lot to work with. So what you want to do is you want to just brush it along the sides like that. You want to get it on your lashes. You want to make sure you coat everything and just kind of like you place it on your lashes, you wiggle and then brush out. You place it on, you wiggle, brush out. Wiggle, brush out. And you do that on the top, and they're gonna look very elongated. They're gonna look nice, watch. You literally going on the lash line, okay? You're going on it, you swivel, you shake and brush out. Shake and brush out, swivel, brush out. And then once I manage to do that, this is a little trick I like to do. I like to close my eyes on the mascara. So I place it right underneath and then close it. Close your eye, close your eye. You want to make sure all the lashes are coated, bottom and top. Now we're gonna go in with the highlighter, and I use this Artist Couture. I only use the top, like literally. I don't even do what I did with the translucent powder. I just open it and use this because it's that strong. And just use whatever is on the top. Yeah, you see what I'm talking about? Blinding. And I'm not even using, I'm using the top. The top. I didn't pour anything into it. I'm just using whatever was on it. Just look. Guys, come on. Look how gorgeous. Cupid's bow, right? On the bridge of the nose, the tip, under the brow. My favorite part, tear duct, right here. Right here, you can't forget that one. It's just so cute. It's so crucial. I mean, not every makeup calls for it, but I like to put it on all the time. I just think it's the cutest, and I guess so many women like, oh my god, I like the highlight you put there. I'm gonna start doing it. Do it. Looks cute. And now to finish the look with some lipstick. And if you don't know by now, this is Kat Von D's Lolita. Okay. Now, this is the finished look. What do you guys think? Was it too hard? Was it easy enough to follow? Do you think it's simple? Do you want something even simpler? Something with not so... I'm going to do a tutorial on just eyeliner. On a simple look without eyeshadow, just using liner. And I'll teach you tricks and hacks on what to do and how to apply. You gotta stay tuned, so subscribe for more videos, okay?